Hey guys, what's up? How's it going? Welcome to week number 33 of the dividend investing case study here with Wealthsimple Trade. Hey guys, what's up? How's it going? Welcome to week number 33 of the dividend investing case study here with Wealthsimple Trade. This is a portfolio that I completely built from scratch earlier this year, and every single week I give you guys an update and I show you guys how my dividend stocks are doing. So basically the way this works is every single week I post an update and I let you guys know what stocks I'm buying, I let you guys know how much money I made with my dividends, and I let you guys know some goals and stuff like that I have going on with this dividend based portfolio. And the funny thing is, when I first started this dividend portfolio, my goal was just to pay for an extra cup of coffee or to help pay for some groceries, but over time it really starts to add up, and I have some big plans, and I'm going to talk about some of my goals later on in this video. But before we do that, let's jump into my investment spreadsheet and let's see how much earnings and how much income we've made from our dividend portfolio so far. And by the way guys, if you are brand new to the channel and you guys want to support me, be sure to give this video a big thumbs up. And if you guys want more Canadian based dividend investing and stock market content type videos, be sure to subscribe to the channel. Alright guys, so we'll try and go through this as quickly as possible so we can get going through the video and I can actually show you guys my portfolio. But the first thing I'm going to show you guys is how much money we've earned with this dividend investing case study, basically to where we are today. So we started the portfolio in early 2020 in January. It was the first month of the portfolio. It's actually one of the first videos I actually did on this channel too. So I started this channel basically right when I started this dividend investing case study, and I've basically been doing it ever since. So when you first started the portfolio, we were putting about $100 a week. That was kind of my goal at the time. So it ended up being like about $400 a month in monthly contributions, and I basically just recorded my dividend earnings on a monthly basis. I wasn't keeping track of like my stock values because stock values go up and down all the time, so you'd go crazy trying to keep track of it on a even like a weekly basis. So I just recorded the earnings from the dividends so that we can kind of keep track of that. And since it is a dividend investing case study, makes sense to do that. So in the first month we made 44 cents from our dividends, and then the second month we made $1.61, and you can just see like in March $4 and then April $5. It just kind of kept going up a little bit by little bit. And then we just basically just took those dividends and we reinvested them back in the portfolio to buy more stocks and just get that compound interest going. And like I said, when we first started, we were putting $100 a week, so that ended up being $400 a month. And then in July, a couple months ago, I decided myself that I was going to go crazy and just start putting all my free cash flow that I had into my dividend portfolio. So you can see like I really ramped up the contributions, and we went from $400 to $950, and we should start to see those dividends kind of rack up a little bit over the next couple months, and that growth should be increasing, right? And at the end of July, we actually managed to get $13 in dividends on a regular basis. So you can see it's starting to get somewhere. And then August so far, we only got $3 because most of the dividends pay at the end of the month. So we should see that number kind of start to go up over the next week or so. Maybe next week or two, we should start to see those dividends paying out. So we'll have to wait maybe like a week or two to see what we get for August. But you can see it is starting to add up over time. And total dividends for this portfolio is right here. This is all the months added up together, is almost $50, $48 in total. And then the total portfolio earnings is this plus my REIT stocks, which I'll go over later on in the video. I keep the REIT stocks separate, even though they're part of the whole entire dividend investing case study. I just like to keep them separate so they're easy to kind of compare them to our regular dividend stocks. But those included all together with everything ends up being $80. And once again, we'll talk about the REITs later on in the video. I just want to cover the dividends first. So that's how much we've earned so far. So let's jump into my goal sheet. I want to show you guys kind of what the whole reason why I started this dividend investing portfolio in the first place. Okay, so I hope you guys can read this, and I covered this briefly in my last video. I'm just going to kind of cover this really quickly just so you guys can see here. But I managed to calculate my total monthly income and my total dividend income earned as I just showed you guys a couple minutes ago. So we're currently making about $21 a month, and our total dividend income is $80. So the entire goal for this portfolio was basically to have some way of earning regular income and eventually get to the point where I can maybe stop working or just spend less time working, and I can use my dividend stocks to spend money on things, spend less time working as I get older, and like I said, maybe one day actually retire and just overall increase my quality of life. So I managed to put these goals here just to kind of keep me going along the way, because when you're doing some of this stuff, it takes a long time. You gotta have a lot of patience. So I wanted to kind of really just appreciate the simple things. So I know this looked really complicated, but I'll try and explain this really quickly. But these are basically my goals right here. You can see the ones in green here are the ones we've managed to achieve with the portfolio with earnings so far. And if we go at the bottom here, I've been adding things in here that I've been wanting to get, but I really want to make it so that I'm putting as much time and effort into growing the portfolio as possible. So I'm trying to cut off all my unnecessary spending, put it into the portfolio, and then I can use the portfolio to buy things for me and increase my quality of life. And I really wanted to get like starting from completely from scratch and getting like that, really just appreciate the simple things in life, right? So I wrote a bunch of things here at the bottom on the right. I don't know if you guys can see this. I'll kind of scroll down and I will be adding to them any things I can think of that I buy on a regular basis or I want to add to my life. I've been putting there, and then these green ones are ones we already achieved. So we've achieved a daily cup of coffee for the rest of our lives, essentially, which is $6 a month. I ended up doing the math here really quickly. 20 cents a day for a cup of coffee, total cost $6. Because we earn $21 a month, we can pay for a cup of coffee. We paid for our French press, which I showed you guys earlier in this video and in the last video, and we paid for 1 day's worth of food. In 1 month, I've estimated to be about $10. That was the goal I wanted to do. I wanted to use my dividends to basically pay for 1 day's worth of food and just appreciate the food and just kind of think to my head, you know what, this is what we're getting for the rest of our lives. That was my one goal. And then obviously we have these other goals at the bottom here. We have like paying for my rent, my groceries, or cat food, a vehicle, or internet, some other things we want to spend in our life, maybe a new computer. Those things like I eventually want to get to, but I just want to kind of get some really basic things first. So obviously the necessity is the big thing. So maybe like my next goal might be buying a week's worth of food. We'll add this in there and then we'll calculate how much I estimate it to be. And then once we get our total monthly income to pay for that, then we can write that on. And then every single month, you know, I can just appreciate all the hard work and everything I've done. And I think this is just a cool way to kind of keep yourself focused and really just keep going, because it does, you know, this is kind of like a slow grind, if you will. But if you just kind of look for the little things, you can really start to appreciate the value that you're getting. All right, so I just want to share my goals really quickly, guys. So let's jump into the actual portfolio and let's see how our stocks are doing for this week. Alright guys, so just like my other videos, I'll mention really quickly, if you guys want to check out the earlier videos in this series, I'll link to last week's episode in the description of this video. I'll also link to an end card at the end of this video. You guys can click that link and that will take you to last week's update, and then that will take you to a playlist and you can watch all the previous videos if you guys kind of want to follow along if you're new here. But here's my Wealthsimple trade account. Here's the total portfolio. We'll go over the dividend portfolio stocks first, and then we'll kind of make our way over to the REIT stocks, and I'll briefly talk about those. But here's our Wealthsimple trade account. We have $4,385, and before we go into that, I just want to mention really quickly that Wealthsimple Trade is offering some weird kind of cool contest here, where if you refer friends, I guess you get a chance to win $5,000. So I'll put my affiliate link in the description of this video if you guys want to use that link, and if you guys use that link and you add in $10, you'll get $10 added to your account, and I'll get $10, and we'll both get added to, I guess, some draw to earn $5,000. That just popped up on my screen the other day, so I just figured I'd mention that there. And I just want to do a quick little shout out to everybody who's used my link so far. Thanks guys, I've earned a total of $60, and you guys have earned a total of $60. That's $120 we've generated for free from Wealthsimple Trade to everybody who watches this, this case study and supports the channel. So awesome guys, I really much appreciate that. I just want to say a big thank you to everybody who used my link, who's on this list right now. Thanks guys, I appreciate it. There'll be a link in the description of the video if you guys want to use that link and set up Wealthsimple Trade and follow alongside with me. So anyways, let's get into the portfolio. So total right now, we are up about $75, which is 1.74% all time. So our Canadian stocks have went a little bit down over the past little while. Earlier, I guess last week when I did the update, Canadian stocks had a bit of a jump up, but it looks like they've kind of leveled off a little bit. And we go over the past day, we are down $3, which is 0.08%. Over the past week, the entire portfolio is down 0.57%, so about 0.5% we went down over the past week, so not a ton, but a little bit. And over the past month or so, we are up $126, which is just under 3%. And over the past 3 months, we are up $222, which is 5.34%. And if we go all time, we are only up 1.74%, because remember, we did have this portfolio before the market crash, so we're still kind of recovering from that. But it's nice to see that we are actually in the positive, and as our dividends keep rolling in, that's only going to increase over time, especially as we keep buying stocks. So here's the portfolio holdings for the account. If you guys want to see a more in-depth list of this, check out my I did a video earlier, or just check out my monthly updates. I'll put a link to those in the description of this video as well. My monthly updates actually go in through like in depth all my stocks, and I show you guys how each individual stock is doing. So check that out if you guys want to see a more in-depth kind of analysis of my holdings. But as you guys can see, we have a lot of just good solid Canadian stocks here for the most part. We have some Canadian banks, we have some utility companies, some financial companies like Manulife. We have like CIBC, Bank of Nova Scotia, Enbridge, some good solid companies. And then we have some ETFs kind of going towards the bottom here. Our main ETF is VDY, which is a Canadian-based Vanguard fund ETF that pays monthly. And our other ETF that we've been investing into is XHD. This is an American-based Canadian hedged ETF. I'm currently using for the moment. It does pay monthly dividend as well, but I might change that in the future. And these are just funds that I'm kind of building the base of the portfolio. So we're adding about like 40% into each one, and then we're using like the extra 20% to buy individual stocks. So I do believe buying ETFs is the best way to do it, and we're mostly going Canadian and US based ETFs, dividend based ETFs, and then the other 20% I'm just kind of playing around with, mostly buying Canadian stocks so we can take advantage of the tax-free savings in our TFSA. And you guys can see here we have $100 that's currently not available. I'm waiting for that transfer to go through, and I will go over the previous buys that I've been buying over the past couple days or so. Check out my last video, guys, where I talk about the two stocks I bought. Basically, I bought two bank stocks, but I'll go filter here, and I'll filter out so you guys can actually see my buys. We'll go tax-free savings account, go to buys, and then you guys can see here that we bought some shares of VDY, we bought some TD shares. I'm buying lots of TD right now because TD is my favorite Canadian bank stock, and I think they're just a really good dividend stock right now, and they're still priced relatively good. We bought some RY, which is RBC. I wanted to buy RBC because I don't own RBC, and I just want to get some more, I guess, broader Canadian banks. I want to kind of buy into at least some of the bigger ones. And then we have CWC. We bought some Slaveria Corp, of course, VDY, and then some other ones here at the bottom. We bought some shares as well. So that's basically what I've been buying for the past week or so. You guys can see I went really, really heavy into VDY and TD for this week because those are my big buys for this week. But once again, we're predominantly focusing on ETFs just because it's the safer and more efficient way to do it long term. And if we go dividends, I'll show you guys the dividend payments for the past little while. We don't have anything to report new for this week, I think. Over the next week, like I mentioned, and probably the week after that, that's where we're going to get most of our dividends coming in. So you guys can see we have some dividend payouts here. And I'd like to show you guys, just to inspire you guys and whatnot, and show you guys that I actually do buy these companies. I actually do get earnings from them, and I do reinvest those dividends. So as you guys can see, a couple dollars here, a couple dollars there, but they end up adding up quite a bit at the end of the month, and we just put them back into our portfolio and we keep investing them on a regular basis. So that's the dividend based portfolio, guys. Let me know if you guys have any comments or anything like that. Let me know in the comments of this video. Let's jump over to the REIT portfolio and let's talk about my REIT stocks very quickly before I end this video. Alright guys, so here's the REIT portfolio. I have this in a separate spreadsheet for my dividend portfolio, but keep in mind these two portfolios I do include together when I do the updates. I just like to keep my REITs separate so we can see how real estate performs in comparison to our dividend-based stocks. So here's the REIT portfolio. Once again, we started it in early March, so a little bit after the dividend portfolio. But once again, you can see that the dividends, $1 here, $2 here, $4, $6 in June, $8 in July, and then $9 in August so far. And most of the REITs pay out monthly, so the monthly income for the REITs will start to add up over time. And just like my dividend based portfolio, I'm ramping up the deposits and I'm putting as much money as I possibly can into both of these portfolios to grow that dividend fund and reinvest and get that compound interest going. And our total dividends we earned so far from the REITs is $31, so it's slowly starting to add up. And if I go over to my Wealthsimple trade account, we'll go over to the REIT portfolio, which is right here, which we will probably eventually at some point combine together into a tax-free savings account. But here's the REIT portfolio. We'll see if we can, here we go. So we can see we have $3,281 Canadian. And one thing I want to mention really quickly is that this REIT portfolio is 100% Canadian REITs. Just want to point that out there. So over the course of 1 week, we are down $1, which is 0.05%. So REITs have kind of been hovering around zero. Over the past month, we are up 2.82%, which is 3%. Over the past 3 months, we are up once again 3%, which is about $90. And then all time, we are up about 1.59%, which is $51. So REITs are kind of hanging in there. But I'm just kind of been investing in them. Keep going as time goes on. The first REIT we have is Brookfield. Then we have Dream Industrial. We have H&R REIT. We have RioCan. So really good, solid REITs. Check out a video I did a couple days ago where I showed you guys some of the REITs I was buying. But the main ETFs here are VRE and XRE. Those are the two ones we're investing in this portfolio. And once again, you can see we have a $100 deposit that's waiting and $3 in our fund. And I don't think we can buy anything with that today. And I'll go over quickly my buys for this week. So if we go to filter and we go buys for our personal account, which once again we will eventually put into a tax-free savings account towards the end of the year. You can see that I bought some Dream Industrial. I bought a lot of VRE, $108 of VRE. I bought $61 of Riocan. I think Riocan is a great buy right now. And again, some more VRE, and I've just been stocking up on these REITs and mostly the ETFs because I just want to get that monthly income rolling and then get that compound interest going. And in terms of dividends, I don't think we have anything new for the REITs as well, but I'll just go over it really quickly to show you guys. And nope, we don't have anything new, but we do have our payment from VRE. We got a $4 payment for Riocan, and then some other ones here at the bottom. So lots of dividend payments for the REITs, and they do pay out monthly. So that monthly income from the REITs should start to add up over time. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section. Thanks for joining me here today, guys. I know there's not much really to update in today's video, but I just wanted to do the weekly update. Hopefully next week we'll have some more dividends rolling in so we can add that into the portfolio and I can show you guys how much we've been earning. So anyways, guys, thanks for joining me today, guys. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. Give the video a big thumbs up and remember to subscribe to the channel if you guys want more Canadian-based investing content. So thanks for joining me here today, guys. Have yourself a good day, and I'll see you guys later.